So I get to play in the studio again today. I've been making it a priority to do that every single day. I'm trying to make my part-time reselling business actually occupy part-time hours. So we'll see how that goes. But I have been creating art, as you guys have probably noticed. I was working earlier on some class samples for my upcoming collage journal book weekend at the end of March. So hopefully I'll have something to share with you soon on that. But, you know, I don't want to do that all the time. So I actually, one of the other things that I did was I started working on this base thing here is a bunch of, let's show you, a bunch of these Rolodex cards. I put them all together. I really like to work in that fashion. I probably, if you watched for a while, you know that. I like to put a whole bunch of things together and do a collage and then break them apart. I think it adds a lot of interest that way. But when I do my collage stuff, I tend to pull off the white sections of text papers. And then what do you do with that? I mean, I could throw it away, I suppose, but I thought, well, let's see if we can make something interesting out of that. So what I decided to do was I am going to make these little guys into stuff that I can use in a future collage. I've never done this before. This is a brand new experience for me. So you guys get to come along for this little journey. So what I've done first is I have laid out some painter's tape, and notice that I taped it down. So this is the sticky side up. And I don't like how that's bunched up, so I'm going to change it. I think it's off screen, but it was kind of bubbled. So I've got that. I grabbed some Stays-On ink, re-inker in case I needed it, and a couple of rubber stamps. I may change my mind and go get something else, but I really think that this is enough. This is a stamp from Stampers Anonymous. I've had it forever. I really kind of like that. It's very, when you stamp it on things, it kind of gives it like an abstract look to it. Same thing with this. This is probably one of my favorite stamps sets that I've ever purchased. I know I've got it zoomed up here. Let's unzoom. It is from Ink. I don't even know, Ink Boutique. I don't even know if they still exist or not, but I got it on clearance somewhere for a ridiculously good price, and I use it all the time. It is one of my go-to stamp sets. So I have those things. And then I have all the little pieces parts that I showed you before. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to lay these pieces parts on this tape. And I kept this one because I liked that edge. I thought that edge was really cool. Let's just lay them on this. Ooh, I'm liking right now how well these are going down on the tape. And again, we're just using the pieces parts that are blank. Well, that wanted to stick there. I'm just going with it. We're just doing whatever it dictates. Whatever it dictates. So as you can see, I'm probably not going to be able to do all of these in one sitting because I have quite a pile of them, and only, you know, I don't really want them to overlap because then I won't be able to do what it is that I want to do. So, well, I don't want to tear it. We'll put it there. It'll make an interesting look. I have some space up here. I am going to tear that. I got space there. Oh, that's off screen. Well, since that's all off screen, I'm going to leave it alone. And then do this here. Okay. So, all right, so I've got that down. Then what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to come in and stamp. Maybe I'll do just, let's see. All right, so I'm glad I brought over the re-inkers. There was literally no ink that came off on this stamp when I did it. So let's see if we have an improvement. Oh yeah, all right. I'm seeing some ink come off now, thank goodness. probably still need to use more Reinker. And I thought that this, well, this might be an older one. I thought it was one of the newer stamp pads that I had. Might not be though. Thank goodness for reinkers. All right, so I'm gonna stamp it off and see what I've got. No, still not good enough. All right, I re-inked enough. I think that this, well, I think that this is adequate for my purposes. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up again. Paying extra careful attention to that one because for some reason that wasn't getting enough ink before. All right, guys, I'm just going to stamp this randomly on my paper, and it's not, you know, I don't know what I'm gonna get, so this is an experiment, so we'll just see what we've got. Oops. Okay. All right. So I've got all of that on there. I kind of like the idea of maybe doing some letters. So let me go get my letters. Whoops, you can't see that. So this is what I've got here. I kind of like what I'm seeing, but I like the idea maybe of doing some letters. So I'm going to get some letter stamps real quick. I have this wonderful little box full of letter stamps. These came out of an old letter stamping kit. Really awesome. And I'm partial to the number 5, so I have a nice big number 5 stamp there. So we're going to see what these do. Oh, good. Nice and juicy. Nice and juicy. Let's put that there. Oh, well, not juicy enough. Telling you, what is up with that? All right, I think I got it all nice and juicy here. Let's see what we can do. It's as juicy as it's going to get. At least for now. It's okay. Try as I may. But it's all experimentation. It's all play, right? So for instance, I've got this little burnout spot there. I'm going to put a 5 there. Yeah, not too bad. Let's put one down here. All right, set that aside. All right, so this is where I'm at now. Let's see. And take out my stamps here. I kind of like this one here because it's going to add that real strong contrast in the piece or the pieces. And granted, I'm using them in something else, but you'll understand. All right, I repositioned my camera for you. Hopefully that gives you a nice, better view. So my stamp pad again, I don't use an acrylic block. I'm funny that way, at least for most things. I'm just going to press this down into the ink like this and hopefully get, oh, that's nice. We're going to put that right there. Nice. Look, my finger's acting like an acrylic block. Put that there. Put that over there. Put that there. I really like the contrast and the dark of this flower. I think it really, really is bold and really very nice. On there too. All right, guys, I think that's it for this. I'm going to remove this stuff from the tape and see what we've got. All right, so let's see. Hopefully they'll pull off. Maybe not so good. I'm telling you, it's an experiment and you came along for the ride. I probably will have to really de-tack my tape in the future. But look at that. Isn't that fun? So that would be a nice little piece to use in a collage. And I might have thrown that away otherwise because it has nothing going on. Let's see if we can get some of the rest of these off. I'll bring it up here where you can see it. Some of these older papers may not survive this experiment. All right, there's another one that I can use in collage. Oh, this one's thin. What's that long one? We're going to take this off. Oh, that's part of it. Ugh. Oh, my flower. It's the best part. Oh, well, we got the flower anyway. All right, so I decided, you know, this is all about experimentation. So I decided to try and put some water. I have just a little touch of soap in my water jar off to the side. So I started, I covered the whole thing. Can you see it? I covered the whole thing in water. And then now as I'm pulling up these littler sections, I'm just adding some water to the underside, hoping that that will release the tape. And I know this is a lot of work for just these little paper scraps, but again, you know, it's just experimenting, seeing what we can do, what, you know. Have no words. I gotta be careful not to wet it too much because I don't want to degrade the paper, because then it might tear on its own anyway. Tore it. I think if I can keep from pulling on it so much, letting my finger do the pushing more than pulling this finger, I think that's better, because I'm getting more ground, if you will. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, that's the key to letting the fingernail that was pushing it. So this is gorgeous. Here, you can see it a little bit better now. Look at that. So that was that scrap that was otherwise very kind of boring. So I'm going to let that dry, and I can use that. You know, it's the way that I work. It doesn't matter that that's torn. All right, so the water thing worked with a lot of the pieces, as I was showing you before. But these were maybe a little bit thicker pieces that were working real well. This really thin piece, it was tearing too much. So what I wound up doing was just cutting the tape with it on, and then just tearing the whole thing. So you see right here a little bit of the blue of the tape showing through, but I think that won't be an issue, and I can still use this luscious. Isn't it beautiful? Hold on, let me see if I can focus real well. Yeah, isn't that gorgeous? I think that came out really nice. And then I have the smaller piece here. And again, same thing, a little bit of the blue tape showing through, but was a nice little experiment. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and maybe you'll give give that a try as well and see what you come up with. But I've been really enjoying playing in the studio, and I'm glad that you all were able to come along and join me for the fun. All right, so I thought you might like to see what I did with those pieces. Let's zoom out a little bit. So I added them here in this collage that I was working on. And again, this is just a series of Rolodex cards that I glued all this paper to begin with. And this is the base of my collage. So I will move on from here and I will create, basically when I do this, I'm creating a collage in a whole, in an entirety here, what looks pleasing to me here, while it's large like this. And then what I wind up doing is once I get that done, then I cut the pieces apart, and then from there I will go in and tweak and do any kind of detail work that I would like to do. But this is where I'm at now, and I'll show you the completed project when I'm done. All right, so this is pretty much the final collage before I cut it apart. I'm gonna probably cut it apart today. I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you guys, if I've ever said this. I have a real hard time stopping mid-process, so that's why I've had a hard time creating a lot, is because I don't like to put things away and then come back to them later. So we'll see if I get around to creating a finished card or cards. This is a disaster. But I'll say this all the time, it's always worse before it gets better. I have gone in here, this is my little closet, and I have done a massive purge and set this up. Yeah, so hopefully it'll be more conducive to creating art, first of all, which is my big thing. Notice the empty space. I'm going to try to pull some boxes in from my shipping area so that I can wheel that cart in there, that cart I was talking about. But I did a lot of reorganizing and purging in here. I kind of had high hopes of being able to open this Saturday, but that's not going to happen. I do have to have everything ready, everything priced, everything out before next Saturday, which is the 22nd of January, because that's when we're doing the chocolate walk. So between that and baking brownies, I got my work cut out for me this next week. Let me show you something, though, I'm kind of proud of. Hold on a second. See that disgusting mess over there? All of those boxes had stuff in it that I have unearthed and put out that can be sold. So I'm really excited about that. Of course, that means I have to go through and price everything, but and those boxes are really good boxes for storing stuff. So I'm not sure how much of it I'm going to get to take home tonight. It's probably about 8 o'clock on Thursday, and I'm really tired. You'll see this vlog the following week, right before the chocolate walk, and so hopefully, well, not hopefully, it has to be better before then. So these are the finished products of my little Rolodex card playtime. And guess what? You guys can snag one of these. You can snag them free. You just have to send me a self-addressed stamped envelope to the studio, and I will send you one back. Now, I'm going to keep one of them, so there's only going to be 5 of them. And they are my choice, so kind of like maybe like a fortune cookie kind of thing. You get the saying that I send you. But if you post down in the comments below that you would like one, then I will go in order of those people, and then those people can send me the envelopes and receive one. So 5 people will be able to get one of these cards. So good luck. Well, after a few 12-hour days, no joke, I think I pretty much have it laid out and set up and all that kind of stuff. I still have to price things. And actually, I'm more concerned about there being old prices on items as opposed to something being priceless, you know, without a price. But yeah, so I have to go through that. I came in early today. Today is Saturday. I've been closed since before Christmas, in part because of COVID and in part just because I just took a break. But I got to get open again. And then next weekend, you guys will be seeing this right before the chocolate walk in my town, and I got to be open for that. So I don't want to be pushing to the last minute. So that's why I wanted to kind of get open today. So I'm going to probably do a soft open, meaning I'm not really going to advertise it except putting out the sign. But here we go. We are good. I've got the little Easter display up. I think I showed you my closet. I was really happy with my closet. I got that cleaned out. So I put my fun step ladder there. Then over here, this is laid out. And some of my display items just were added for effect. That little thing up there actually is a display item. Although if somebody wants to buy that, I guess I would sell it to them. And that just didn't have anywhere to put it. Over here, I brought that stuff out. I have all kinds of patterns. I have really old patterns, 1940s, maybe even earlier than 1940s, and then all the way on up to today. I do have like a display here that I am going to sell. I kept thinking that I would display clothes or something on it or something, and it just never happened. I finally got my friend's original art. I got a price on that with a label so people knew that that was actual, you know, original artwork from an artist. This is my stuff. I moved my items over here to this door. I have to come up with a better solution for this area when people don't come in because that kind of looks a little junky. But again, there's a display that I'm not using. I don't know what to do with it. Here's this vintage decorations there on the right. Here's the vintage Valentine stuff. Oh, I don't have the light on. Maybe I'll put a picture of it at the end, but I do have, this is all the uranium glass that I have right now. I have that out. With more Valentines. I changed that one, put the toys down at the bottom there. So I brought the toys in here from the other room, put them up there. I've got that out. I've had that for a while. More of the original artwork is over here. And I did put the labels on it so that people were aware that that's what that was without me having to always say it. Got some other stuff on this table. I'll probably add some more stuff. I have lots of stuff. The only problem is I use this table for my live sales. So whatever I put on that table, I have to move every Wednesday. Actually Tuesday evening and then on to Wednesday. And then I moved that in here from the other room and then put the vintage games underneath. And then that's display that I have hidden in the corner there because I don't have any room for it. In the other room, oops, sorry, started, bleh.